Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Black Ops 4 video. This video will teach you guys how to control recoil of some of the high recoil weapons in the game and how basically through practice and putting time in and learning recoil patterns you can make weapons that are high recoil have virtually no recoil simply by being a smart player and by using some advanced tactics, which we'll talk about in this video. I did try to upload this video last night, but I made a silly editing error, so I'm re-uploading it tonight so I could really use your guys' support on this video. So I would much appreciate that. Spam those likes, smash those likes, and of course these tips I'm going to give you are stuff that does need to be practiced in the game, but if you get good at it can really revamp your entire gameplay and make you a lot better player at Black Ops 4. As well as I'm going to give some other tips towards the end on how to win one-on-one gunfights, because the gunfight game is changed in this game because of course of the main thing is 100 health is how it used to be in all the other Call of Duties. This game of course being 150 health really changes the game. It makes those gunfights take, you know, whatever 33% longer, so you need to accommodate. I think my math was right there. I don't even know. It makes them take a little bit longer, so you need to accommodate for that, and we're going to talk about all that in today's video. One that I think you guys will really enjoy. I uploaded a video earlier. This is my late night upload of the day. Smack that like button, guys. Support has been overwhelmingly amazing. December 11th, we have that huge update on PS4. I'm ready for that, and I'm just going to be, you know, uploading a lot of videos, and I appreciate your guys' support. It's been amazing on that road to 1 million subscribers, and, you know, it's thanks to you guys, so I appreciate that. Drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new, and let's talk about it. So this gameplay here, first of all, is me using my KN57 rapid fire class, which I absolutely love. I made a video on it the other day. It's like my best class up right now. Wicked KN. We got rapid fire, we got elo, we got stock, we got hybrid sight. Super amazing. And then I go tac mask, gung ho, and dead silence. I believe it is probably like my favorite class up right now in the game. It's absolutely amazing. But to control recoil on these weapons, and I always see a lot of people comment saying, you know, I saw this in Black Ops 3 as well. How come your Vesper in Black Ops 3, which was the Vesper was comparable to sort of like the Spitfire from this game, except the difference was the Vesper actually had grip available for it, so, you know, the Spitfire doesn't, which is really crazy. But anyway, people would always comment and say, how come my gun has more recoil than you? And it's because of a simple tactic that I like to do, which basically, I don't know the official name for it, I guess, but I like to call it pulling down against the recoil, and I'll show you guys how to do it right here. So I'm going to cut the gameplay for a second. I'm going to show you guys in a second here a private match of me taking 3 class setups that are fairly usable for myself. And when you're practicing a private match at controlling recoil, you want to take the gun and you want to use the gun exactly how you're using it. So if you're going to use rapid fire in your actual class setup, when you're practicing, you got to be practicing what you're playing, you know? It's just like if you're practicing for a sport or anything like that. So the 3 that I took into a private match to show off for this video was the KN57 rapid fire, the Maddox fully auto, and then the Cordite with the grip. And you'll see from this footage right here, basically what you want to do is you want to aim down sights and you want to shoot the weapons, hold it down fully auto, and just watch where the recoil pattern goes on each of these weapons. And as you can see, the recoil patterns on these weapons, there is recoil to them, right? Some of them are going up and to the right. That's one of the most common ones. Some of them are bouncing around crazy. And then once you've done that, what you need to do is those recoil patterns are fairly consistent, especially with the way it works in Black Ops 4. So if a recoil pattern goes for the first 10 shots vertical and then the next 10 shots to the left, you can counteract that by, when shooting, it's all done with the right thumbstick and pulling down against that recoil. So for example, using the easiest weapon that I think about, which is the Vesper from Black Ops 3, that gun would kick high and up to the right. So it was simple for me playing with it. I pulled down to the left with my thumbstick. Now this is difficult because you have to do this mid gunfight and while shooting, but the thing you see is that you can see while I'm doing it, I make these weapons virtually have no recoil and have very little recoil, and that's for the whole entire clip, right? Normally in a gunfight, you're going to be killing within those first 10 to 15 shots. So if you focus on those ones and just where the recoil goes within those first 10 to 15 shots, and literally, like, you don't even have to practice this for hours on end. 10-15 minutes with a gun in a private match, and you can absolutely dominate. And I think that, you know, it's a lot more complicated than just how I'm explaining it, but it takes practice and understanding your weapon, understanding why you're using a class setup, why, like, you know, when you're using a Spitfire, you have to understand this gun is good at close, and then if you understand, you know, even beyond that, different things about how I can beat this weapon up close, I can beat that weapon up close, this is what the enemies are using, you know, and enemies using a shotgun, so I'm going to switch to an AR and try to play distance this game, knowing how to pull against recoil. All this stuff are more advanced tactics from a game that Call of Duty kind of gets like a rep for being a casual game, which it is. It's a completely casual game. It's a game you can pick up, and a lot of people probably only play Call of Duty on weekends, you know, not the people watching this video. People watching this video obviously care about the game a lot and are passionate about it like myself, but but, you know, there's a lot of casual fans with Call of Duty, which is dope that it's a casual game that you can pick up. Something like Fortnite isn't so casual because you got to learn how to build, especially like nowadays. Like, you know, back a couple months ago, you could play Fortnite maybe 6 months ago without building too much, but nowadays, if you don't know how to build, that game's not going to be fun for a casual player. It's not going to be, you know, once you learn the casual, the way to build and, you know, you're average at it, then the game can become super duper fun. But this game is pretty easy to pick up, but learning those recoil patterns is huge, and I would recommend you guys do it in a private match with your favorite, take your favorite 3 or 5 class ups and practice this. Spend 30 minutes total. It will definitely help you guys control recoil, and maybe on even like some of the crazy weapons like the Spitfire or the Cordite, the weapons that have crazy recoil, maybe I'll do in-depth videos on the recoil patterns, how to control them. I don't know if that's something people would be interested in or not, but that's basically how I control the recoil, and that's why when you're watching, you know, maybe some of my gameplays or someone else's gameplays, it looks like, you know, whoa, the KN's kind of shooting pretty accurate for him. That's all because of the class setup, as well as, you know, like class setup meaning I throw on grip on stuff like, you know, that's crazy shooting fast, and other stuff like that. But a lot of them don't have that option for grip, which is kind of, you know, the new system. So other tips for winning gunfights. That will help you win more gunfights for sure, because missing 1 bullet or 2 bullets can be the difference between winning a gunfight and losing a gunfight. As far as other tips for winning gunfights, I'll go through a couple of them now because I've gotten more experience on this game, of course, playing it for... It's been almost 2 months. Dude, that's freaking me out. It's been almost 2 months that this game's been out. It doesn't feel like that at all. But some other tips to win gunfights. That's a good tip to control recoil, of course, which is the majority of this video I spent on. Next tip would be Gung Ho. Gung Ho on every single class setup. I mean, you really have to nowadays. It's kind of, I guess you could call it a crutch perk or whatever people want to call it. But nowadays, if you're not running Gung Ho, you're at an extreme disadvantage, and you don't get anything really made up for it. Like, you run lightweight, sure, you can run around the map 5% faster. These maps are small, and usually the playstyle isn't super rushing anyway. It's more about patrolling and stuff like that in this game. Gung Ho definitely is a way to go. Quick Draw, another one that can help you win gunfights. Those are 2 things that are major keys to win gunfights. But when it comes down to winning a gunfight, it comes down to how accurate is your weapon, how quickly can you snap on the target, and that helps by using accurate guns, you know, Maddox, ICR. How quick can you snap on a target? Gung Ho, Quick Draw, even the ADS details of your weapon, because of course there's different per weapon. Like an SMG will aim down sights and strafe side to side faster than an AR, and that's why when you play like with an SMG, it sort of feels, if you're used to playing with ARs and you switch over to an SMG, it will sort of feel like you have stock in Quick Draw built in, and that's one of the advantages of SMGs. But when it comes down to winning gunfights, yeah, it's all about stuff like that. How quick can you get your gun up, and then also can you hit your shots, which depends on the weapon, how you can control the recoil, and the time to kill of the weapon. And in this game, because of the health being so damn high with 150, which is high compared to previous CODs, I think fast time to kill weapons are the way to go. And it's not just me that thinks that. If you look at the weapons that are used in competitive Call of Duty, or not even competitive COD, but you know, the Maddox, of course, fastest fire rate, fastest time to kill, just default. The KN with the rapid fire is a faster time to kill, but I think rapid fire is banned in certain tournaments at least, and online competitions and stuff. But yeah, definitely time to kill. If you have a weapon that's a slow time to kill, you have to play it differently. And there's weapons that are slow time to kill that are good in this game. The ICR doesn't have the fastest time to kill up close. You play it for a distance, right? For example, the GKS, that one doesn't have the fastest time to kill either. You either slap on the quad shot, which will increase your time to kill, or play it more, you know, play it more where you're not taking on one-on-one gunfights up close at least, and play that to more medium ranges. The key to winning gunfights and the key to being better at this game, I give the best tips and tricks that I can every single video and stuff, but it all depends on everything that goes into a gameplay and every little thing that goes into a gunfight. This game is a lot more complicated if you want to make it that and analyze it and get really good at the game, like I'm trying to give some tips in this tip video. The game is a lot more complicated than it may seem to a lot of people. And simple things like understanding recoil patterns, operator mods, time to kill, are stuff that casual players aren't even thinking about. You know, most casual players are saying, oh, the Vapor, man. Well, this is the way that most casual people work, is if they get one good game with a weapon, they'll probably stick to that weapon and use that over and over and over again. You know, so if they throw in a dexterity Vapor class and drop 100 plus, or, you know, drop a 50 to 10 TDM or whatever is good for, you know, that player's standards, they'll probably stick and use that weapon over and over and over. And I've been a victim of that sometimes as well, you know, especially when a new game comes out or a beta, you get comfortable with the weapon, you just keep playing with that. But I definitely recommend, it's 2 months into the game, it's time by now, you should have been experimenting with, you know, a lot of different weapons, understanding where your core is with the meta as of right now. I'm not sure if this December 11th patch update will have a huge amount of balancing changes or not, but understanding the meta, understanding, you know, your 3 to 5 to 7 guns that are go-to in this game, and learning, I think it's worth learning recoil patterns on that. You know, if you never use the MX9 or something, or the GKS is like no recoil, but if there's guns that you never use, you don't really bother have to learn the recoil pattern. You know, I guess if you pick it up off the ground, but I'm thinking about being more efficient and how to win more gunfights and just be better overall in this game. This may sound like, oh, you know, this doesn't really work. It does work. Pulling against recoil does work in this game, and it works better than any other game, and it worked very good in Black Ops 3, and that's one thing that I think I've sort of gotten better at and developed as I've gotten older and more experienced in COD, because this wasn't something I was thinking about years ago. It wasn't, and I should have been, but I wasn't, and definitely with the recoil patterns being so consistent in this game compared to previous CODs, it's not going to shoot the same way every time, but it's a lot more consistent, and those are some tips I would give you guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Pretty nice gameplay here. Hopefully this video did help you guys out. Drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.